long time ago, some idiot was playing at DC in League of Legends and thought to himself, "This isn't fun. I just get killed by anything that touches me." And he stopped playing this game. No. He just got addicted like all of us, but there was a difference. He had something up on his mind by creating something new we have never seen before. The guy told to himself, "Look, the passive of this ability scales with a D. So I should play him on the ADC position." And from this moment, a new champion was born. He will never build normal support items again and miss most of his hooks. No. He will build crit items instead and miss most of his hooks. He was the chosen one to change the meta. That's cool, CVK, but I'm sure there are already several people who made a video about this. Nah, I'm sure I might be the first one. Hello useless people. The problem most low elo players are facing as an ADC are probably quite similar. As soon as you encounter anything that has a red health bar over his head, you can be sure it won't take that long until the gray screen appears. And also dealing damage can be hard, since most people start running away, especially when they see me swinging my pistol with a bullet that hurts a bit more than the other ones, which is really annoying. So here I present you a build no one has ever seen before. Crit Thresh, and here is why it can be strong. The most obvious benefit is that no one expects you to do some damage, but thanks to his flay, that increases his damage on the time spent not basic attacking enemies, up to 10 seconds. So you can feel free to go for trades when the flare reaches its maximum damage output, and the enemy will wonder from where the fuck that damage came from. Not even a strong early game champ like this Lucian can win a fight against you when he keeps underestimating your power, but I had to leave the fight right away since my health bar was nearly empty. But her incompetence, my major skill and a bit of luck kept me alive. And this Lucian isn't used to use his brain. Even now I'm not a support, I can still use my hook to pull him under my tower. Thresh auto attack range is just wide enough to hit the minion standing right next to you, so it can be hard to make good trades. In order to get closer to them is using Thresh hook. Once you hit an enemy with it, you can just take a flight towards him and finish him off with one auto attack. Sometimes you don't even have to hit the enemy and can just use a minion in order to get closer to him, since most of the time they will stick around in the area thinking that you won't engage because you missed a hook, and boy is he wrong. The lantern can be used to help your teammates out of a tricky situation or to shield someone, including yourself, from incoming damage. And sometimes it can be used to invite some unexpected guests to a 2v2 party, turning a fight to your own benefits. Your flay can be used to deny some escaping plans from your enemy or to keep distance to some 1v1 monsters that like to pull you into an arena with no escape, punching the shit out of you. The most important part about the flay is the already mentioned passive, gaining more D when you don't auto attack. Last but not least, your ult can be used to prevent you or your teammates from getting killed by a totally balanced champion that absolutely don't get overpowered when he is fed. I got a Blitzcrank as a support, so we decided to sneak into the first bush and hook some idiots that aren't paying attention, but I realized I'm also one of them by sweeping the air instead of the enemy, giving him the opportunity to walk away without using any sums. But the laning phase won't be easy since now there are two champions with a hook, so when I pull the Twitch to an audience and he decides to flee, the rat just gets pulled back, and going invisible won't help against two idiots with a nearly synchronous flash. The Blitzcrank walking away, which made Velka's belief that he is safe, not calculating that I also have a hook, but his virgin shield couldn't prevent him from dying. And suddenly the rat appeared right in front of my support, so I slap him with my whip and hooked that octopus with an oversized eye, which defended himself with a laser beam instead of some ink, so I used my fishing net to catch him, but he escaped once again. When you are struggling, ask your jungler for some help after you support him doing his red buff, and it looks like the enemy really has some counting issues since he couldn't see that we were outnumbering him, which was ironically perceived by the blind man, but he somehow decided to stick around, giving us our first blood. And you can't allow an ADC to get some farm when you are outnumbering him, so just use a knock-up with some bonus range to make sure your hook lands, and then you can just run him down. And after you get some items, your damage increases dramatically. The first item should be Gale Force, which grants you some kills even when the enemy panic flashes over the wall, or as a gap closer to one-shot enemies even faster when they are about to wipe out your team. There is no way you can miss it when you are nearby an enemy, which secures some kills even for idiots like me that can't land a hook on a stationary target. Also very useful when you see your red buff fight a ghost, but then you see it's just a useless Lucian trying to steal it, but now you have a dash to catch up, and luckily there was a trap that scared the shit out of him, giving me the chance to finish the dirty work. But even though you have all tools I mentioned before, there is still no way how you can counterplay a Zed. So I had to let my frustration out by killing this kindred, flashing voluntary out of her immortal circle, giving me the opportunity to punish her. This Raken came bot to surprise us with a gank, but I'm not like the other 90% hardstuck players and actually put a ward into the river, giving him the opportunity to surprise him instead and destroy his well thought out plan. I hooked the turret spamming midget, but suddenly the ADC decided to go for a dive with no wave pushed under her turret, and there was just one possible outcome. Since the Heimerdinger was lucky that I got distracted, it was now his turn to meet crit Thresh. After killing these guys for the 4th time, we got a bit too greedy when this moron managed to make a double kill when he suddenly started trash talking, but I'm more that guy, action speaks louder than words, so I decided to wait on the top lane for that midget, knowing that he has to be low on health since he is glowing red like a traffic light, but that won't stop me from sacrificing all my sums to get his greedy ass. Now this is inner peace. Sometime Thresh is good for tower diving since no one expects his damage, so they get surprised when you suddenly flash into turret range and just clap them with one auto attack. Or stay behind a wall and kill the mid laner alongside. Sometimes they are so confident to dive a Thresh without any minions, forgetting that I still have a hook and a pretty wide range no one expects, giving you also the possibility to get you well-deserved kills. And if you want to know why Pyke Nautilus bot is a counter pick against most of DC, watch this video right here.